Animal welfare and agriculture, balancing ethics and efficiency. Here's our group members and everything they were responsible for. Here's our topic statement. Our topic is exploring the ethical, scientific, and legal perspectives of animal welfare and agriculture, and our key focus areas are humane treatment in agriculture, role of organizations and policies, impact of consumer choices, tech, and sustainable practices, as well as balanced solutions to animal welfare and productivity. Here's some graphs outlining some of these issues that we're seeing. You can see how the number of land animals farmed for food in the US has nearly doubled in 35 years, as well as the fact that about 90% of all farmed animals are meat chickens. Here's a framework for animal welfare. Here's some popular press articles from the first one from the AVMA, focuses on ethical treatment and veterinary standards in agriculture. It stresses the importance of science-backed welfare practices and animal pain management. They support stricter laws and increased transparency across the meat and dairy industries. The second one was from the IFAW, and it highlighted the global push for stronger welfare regulations. It advocated for animal sentience recognition in agricultural law, as well as encouraging consumers to choose humanely raised products to influence industry change. The third one was from Food Dive article. It investigated food corporations failing to meet their commitments to humane treatment. They reported discrepancies between marketing claims and third-party audits, showed how consumer trust is being eroded due to lack of enforcement. And finally, independent media article critiqued the USDA's inconsistent enforcement of the Animal Welfare Act, or the AWA. It reported that inspections resulted in minimal consequences, even when violations are documented, and they emphasized the gap between written regulation and actual industry accountability. Here is just a graph showing how different nations feel about how their products are being produced. Germany has the most care for how their animals are treated, with China having the least, and India and the United States are in between. Scientific perspective articles from PubMed analyzed cortisol levels, heart rate, and immune responses in cattle and pigs under different farming conditions, and they found that factory farmed animals had elevated stress markers due to overcrowding and confinement. Recommended environmental enrichment and reduced stocking density to improve welfare. The second one is from the Journal of Animal Science, examined the correlation between sustainable farming and animal welfare metrics, and they found that sustainable farms had lower incidence of lameness, infections, and behavioral disorders. They advocated for policies that financially support humane and sustainable methods. The third is from ResearchGate, and they reviewed legal case studies of enforcement under the AWA. They noted the lack of uniformity in penalties and inspection outcomes. They suggested that without mandatory standards and penalties, welfare laws are often symbolic. And the last one from Taylor and Francis Journal, they explored how welfare standards differ between industries. They emphasized that understanding animal behavior like nesting, grazing, and social interactions is key to designing welfare-centric environments. They provided examples where free-range systems led to improved physical and psychological well-being. Here is a graph showing us how many cases have been opened in green, the warnings given out in blue, and actual settlements in yellow. So you can see from this clearly that they are not enforcing their laws very much. So overall, both agree current standards are not enough and more humane treatment is needed. And we learned there is alignment between public concern and scientific evidence. Enforcement is a common weakness. Both perspectives call for stronger regulation. Our position: animal welfare and agriculture can only improve through a balanced approach. Stricter enforcement of welfare laws, support for science-based practices, and consumer awareness and demand for humane products. We believe progress is possible, but it requires unified action across science, policy, and society. Thank you.